G'day and welcome back to Pillars of Ranternity. It's time to keep going. Last time around we basically finished the initial tutorial area and it's time to keep pushing through. Interesting that it shows that we have a companion here. We shouldn't, because we just lost our companion at the end of the previous episode. So I guess we'll find out what is going on there when it actually loads. This game does have long loading times for some reason, so does Torment, relative to the expected weight of the game, so to speak. I find that interesting, but we can deal, especially since I can actually edit these out rather than talking through them. Yes, I have that installed. Okay, so apparently... Really? It didn't... here we go. There we go. I loaded the wrong save. Why isn't the most recent save at the top?
Leave it to me.
Dumb question, but why isn't it there? Okay, so I don't think there's anything else for us here. It was just time to escape. Head to a travel point. Okay. Oh, that was actually... yeah, cool. So we're here at Silent and we have to go to Gilded Vale. But one of the things that this does, like Baldur's Gate, is you can only go to a place you've been before or a place that's next to it. So we'll travel for 6 hours.
Time to bring out the bedrolls, I think.
And I am fatigued, so that reduces my accuracy. So this is actually one of the things that I picked up skills to try and reduce the impact of. If we go to athletics, right? Athletics increases how long we have until that second wind, and so, well, not that second wind, until we need to sleep. That's actually really valuable, just to put a few points into, because otherwise you end up needing to sleep all the dang time, and frankly that's not something I'm interested in doing. For the moment, we're just gonna pinch what we can. I think it's really expected that you're gonna want to camp again fairly soon. So, let's see. You're gonna spend a lot of time in this game scouting, especially with this kind of a character. There's a semi-invisible person wanting to wander around. So this is a wilderness area, and there will be many like it in the game. And what I'm likely to try and do is we'll see if it's worth skipping through them or not, or if I come back and I try and get things done. Here, you know, we're finding bits and pieces people have left behind. Tab highlights interactables. And again, like, I played this a fair while ago, and I got a reasonable way through. I actually made a series of tip videos. Hopefully I can remember what the tips were. I remember that I thought it was surprisingly easy to not have highlights in the videos. What we'll do is we'll blind this fella. No one ever notices pets for some reason. So he's shot. Looks like we missed, which sucks. So that's probably what happens when you're dealing with this problem. Fortunately, you know, we're better than the Zalrip. I do like this distinction between endurance and health. I think it's an interesting way of basically allowing you to split the difference between a 5-minute workday and a endless workday, which is a typical fantasy RPG problem. So
I'll go on ahead.
What happens? It's mostly triggered by wizards and spellcasters. That's something that 4th edition D&D kind of, I thought, did a good job of avoiding as well. And that is in 3rd edition D&D and earlier. At the start of the leveling system, frankly, there's not really much call for... Well, what am I trying to say? At the start of the leveling system, your wizards are pretty useless. Oh, come on. Oh, also, I didn't mean to be in slow mode. Basically...
Must have cracked more skulls than I thought.
And now we're even more tired. Because what'll happen is each combat also tires us out. So, that will happen. But basically, you got your wizard. Your level 1 wizard. It's especially a problem with. Can cast 1 or 2 spells a day. And after that, they're pretty useless. And, you know, most of your casters have this. Even at higher levels, if you've got the time, the optimal way of playing, say, Neverwinter Nights, is you show up, you blow your load, you kill everyone with your spells, and then you rest. Get them back, repeat. Right? And this, you've got a similar thing with health, because what'll happen is you'll have your wizard, he'll have, you'll like, even your fighter, you'll have, say, 20 hit points. If you rest, you'll recover it, and then you can go fight again, and you are safest when you got plenty of health left. Here, any fight that wears me down, I don't risk dying immediately in any fight, but I'm significantly weaker in a single fight. But any fight I can win, I can get up and I can fight again without being like, oh well, that last fight took me down to 5 hit points, so I got nothing left. I'm really useless until I get a chance to heal. Here I can have a bunch of close fights, and then I can still reload. Not reload, but still fight. And a touch more salt. Bandit, how long does it take to make some damn stew? Okay. Don't rush me. You'll have to let the meat absorb the flavour. You'll be absorbing the sharp end of my dagger if you don't hurry up. Okay, so. Looks like someone could do with a bit of help. What would happen if I were to shoot him? Yeah. I did say, yep. The young dwarf tending to the stew looks up startled as he sees you approach. He drops his ladle, splattering stew across the ground. What? The bandit turns. Get her, you dogs, and we'll make sure our new cook don't run off. Help, please, but One of the bandits gives Temfrith a kick as they pass him and he huddles. Okay, so there's only 2 of them, so... that's inconvenient. Right, so this does have kind of a pinning system, so that guy's real inconvenient. Oh, it looks like I've got Blinding Strike again, though. Oh, I thought I said to use this. So this is not going well for Homestar Runner, or me.
Death to our enemies!
Okay, I may need to use some heals soon. By soon, I mean, let's just use Second Wind here. Thank you. That is another reason for getting athletics. That's a very decent self-heal. You can only do it once per fight, but, you know, next fight I can get up. And that drained our endurance. So you can see our endurance is down to 163. So we're really tired in the middle of a fight, which is never a great thing to do. Fortunately, we do have Gorn's Pledge, which will help. We can just basically heal through this. If we were playing at a higher difficulty level, though, I'd be kind of doomed here. Come on. I don't know what the 51% means, but I guess I'll find out in the future. That person interrupted me, so that recharged my attack time. Fortunately, you know, we did a bit better.
You know, I fight better after a nap.
I'll take all of that, thanks. Oh, that's right. That's one of the interesting things here, is that the game has a loot radius. And I would rather just loot everything within the widest nearby area. I'll just take all of this stuff. Alright, now I'll talk to this fella.
Greetings.
By the flame, thank you, thank you. I thought I'd be stuck cooking for these ignorant weasels for the rest of my life. Until they were bored of me, I suppose. I must get back home. I only hope they haven't hired a replacement. The dwarf looks aghast. Listen, next time you're in Gilded Vale, stop by the Blackhound Inn. I'll let Pasca know what you've done for me, and I'm sure she'll do right by you in turn. Oh, to be back at my oven again. Hey, we earned reputation. Reputation is useful. Imagine that. Okay, late for dinner. Yep. Grab from here. Ooh. So that's for our magic mans when we get one. And we got fruit. Okay, so.
I'll go on ahead.
The other one is getting up here. So let's see. Okay, that's some great pathfinding. Good to see that they've accurately reflected how these things work. I might rest here. Yeah, no, definitely. Let's just back off a little bit. You know what? Let's go camping. I would like damage reduction. Just a small amount of damage reduction. Ooh. That's a dream. Eight hours have passed. Also, how close are we to leveling? Surely we have leveled. Oh, that's right, we did. So, you know, we're a decent distance away from leveling. So this, we got a 69% chance of hitting. Cool. Cool, cool, cool. 56% chance of hitting with that. And we hit. Excellent. Blinded for 6 seconds. That gives us a great chance of hitting. And damn, a low chance. Yeah. And that's our backstab at work.
Not a
Alrighty.
problem.
And this is why you do this. Okay, Cape of Deflection. So that increases our chances of being missed. It increases our AC. For those of you keeping track at home. So the other thing that is worth noting is the various abilities here. Various bonuses don't stack. It doesn't actually matter because we got a magic item, which also goes on the next lot. But we'll probably hand that out to one of our other fellas. Alright, here we can change those. Cool. Is there anything else? We don't have anything to go in the belt slot. It's a ring, right? Yep. Cool. Is there any way to get up here? I know there is. I remember that there was, so that's why I know that there is. I just don't know how one gets up there. Map. Is there anything? Ah, there. No, there we go. These aged walls appear to have once encircled this entire glade. Only a small fragment remains, and the stairs leading to the top of the structure have crumbled away. Let's examine the wall more closely. The heavy bricks are slick with moss, presenting a hindrance to climbing. The stairs themselves seem sturdy enough. Given the right tools, one might easily reach the top. And yeah, we don't have the tools. And yeah, we don't have the tools, and I think we don't have the athletic skill to ignore the need for the tools. So we can come back in the future with some kind of climbing gear, and that'll probably work. Okay, the other one is there is a minor quest
Quick and quiet.
that we can get, which I do not think we are in any way prepared for, from this fella. On the other hand, I did it on a high difficulty last time. Not next time. Don't remember if there's pickpocketing in this game. If so, I will probably not do it because I don't have the patience to save load, especially in a Let's Play situation. I do have the patience to save load normally, actually. I mean, I just recently finished Mankind Divided, and trust me, there was a lot of save loading there. But I don't think it makes for a very good Let's Play. So, alright, here we are in the Gilded Vale. And here we'll get to learn a bit more about the setting and kind of what makes things tick. You can tell just immediately from the design here that things are not necessarily great. just because you immediately walk into an area with a bunch of dead trees. Sure, there are evergreens and things. It could just be that it's coming into winter, but I don't think that's the case. Plus, there's this happy place here, right in the center of town.
You must be one of the new settlers. Welcome to Gilded Vale. You'll be pleased to know that we've had some recent vacancies here.
He glances at the gnarled, leafless monstrosity on the tree next to him. Skin is as dull and grey as a desolate village. That's great. Let's go with the sarcastic one.
Of course, we'll need to make some inquiries first. The inestimable Lord Radric VII has taken great pains to insulate our town from Widewind's legacy. Have you ever conceived a Hollowborn child?
And so here is some interesting pieces of world building. If you're new to this game and to this setting, you have no idea what the hell Widewind's legacy is, what a Hollowborn is, and these are really important questions. And here you've got the option of basically finding out about them, or at least a Hollowborn child, or you can basically, make up your own mind here. So, to be clear, I do know what those are, and I think I would rather actually try and explain what they are than go through the dialogue, because I want to have a character that knows what they are. And the game is actually reasonably good at picking up on the kinds of things that you do and say, and using them elsewhere. So, Widewind's Legacy and Hollowborn are the same thing. There is, in this area of the game, the area of the world in which this is set, there was kind of a incredibly powerful demigod figure who showed up and was successfully killed fairly recently, and we'll run into more about him later. But since then, a lot of newborn children have been born soulless, and the assumption is, of course, that these two are related. And so a soulless child is referred to as Hollowborn. Souls are a very real thing in this world. There's a lot of magic and things associated with souls, and they can tell when something has no soul, and you don't end up with a normal person at the end of it. There's a bunch of other things that come from trying to deal with this problem. So the assumption here, at least, is if a woman is giving birth to Hollowborn children, it's the woman's problem, I guess. Much like historically, a lot of assumptions about sterility have come from the assumption that it is the woman that's sterile, not necessarily the man. Even though there's two parts to making a baby. And so here we are going to go with... that's a rather personal question.
An important one nevertheless. Lord Radric has made it his first priority to eliminate this scourge from our village. I should warn you, stranger. Here in Gilded Vale, we have a special place for dissidents, charlatans, and those who would hide a curse in our midst.
Ah, that's delightful.
His lordship's wife is with child and due any day now. Without his approval, I shan't be able to find you a permanent settlement. It will have to wait until after the birth. We can continue our interview then, after the bell tolls from Radric's hold to signal my lord's new heir. In the meantime, you can find temporary accommodations at the inn just southwest of here.
I like that you can continue to ask questions about what these terms mean, even if you chose not to do it before. For things like this, it's really important that players learn what they are. And I'm going to go with... before I got here, I saw several people conducting a strange ceremony near some ruins. The Urgate regards you carefully. You'll want to keep your mind where you mention that. You'll want to mind where you mention that. Trespassing on Engwithan ruins is illegal, not to mention dangerous. You probably saw someone attempting some new ritual to appease the gods. People will try anything these days. Barath have mercy. We certainly have. Yeah. Well, I kind of misread that. Like, we certainly have mercy. Doesn't really look like it, buddy. But I guess what we're referring to is they've tried anything. I don't think so. Just as they finished, there was a bivouac. Agate polishes his spectacles on his sleeve. If you've been that close to a bivouac, you wouldn't be standing here. If you have any other questions, don't hesitate to ask. It's important that everyone in Gilded Vale understand our rules. I've been feeling ever strange since a close call with that bivouac. That totally happened. Is there someone in this town who could help?
Whatever your problem, it sounds like a matter for an animancer. However, the only animancer in Gilded Vale isn't in any condition to speak. Consider yourself fortunate. After she failed Lord Radric, we saw to it that she wouldn't profit from the misplaced trust of others. A bad cure is often worse than none at all.
So they hung their animancer. And an animancer is definitely someone that is involved in this kind of soul magic.
A bottle of troll piss or a dead Audra pebble to rub on your forehead, you're welcome to check her pockets. A little corpse stink is nothing when you're digging for shit. My advice, however, is to be satisfied that you escaped and leave it at that. Keep out of...
Listen!
2 tolls. Let that be the last.
3. Gods have mercy.
Well,
It seems your arrival is ill-timed.
Urgit looks out toward the east, his expression unreadable. He blinks slowly and turns his attention back to you.
3 bells toll only for the death of a Radric. I fear Lord Radric's heir is lost, or else Hollowborn, and so lost all the same. You should tread carefully. Circumstances have changed a great deal.
As he says this, a peculiar spasm crosses his face, and the corner of his mouth quirks up into a mirthless smile. Does this affect the Lord's offer to new settlers? I can be sure of nothing right now. I advise you to get some rest, the inn or a stable for all I care. Find me afterwards. I will know more soon enough. So yeah, the Lord's wife gave birth to a Hollowborn. Almost certainly. Either that or, stillborn. But that, doesn't fit with the kind of thing that we're expecting. So,
I'll go on ahead.
Let's have a look around. What if it's not maybe Cole's managed to... Hush, are you mad? Leave it for indoors. So this is relevant because, so this is basically how spotted I am. So right now people can see me. That's why the circle's red and that kind of thing. But yellow means people are kind of catching on to where I am. And this is really much more significant for when I go through people's houses and steal everything that they own. Which I'll totally do later on. As you near, you feel a vibrant history contained in the essence of this man's soul. Voices from its past seem to call out to you. So these guys are backer rewards. They are backer rewards at a significantly higher dollar amount than your typical backer, right? And so this is someone that kind of got to be an NPC in the game and have a cool backstory. There's a ton of these, and they are of varying interest. You kind of start off reading a lot of them, and then you kind of curse anytime you accidentally click on one, because they look like an NPC, but they're not one. The problem with them is you never interact with them beyond this. So it doesn't matter how cool this bit of backstory is, which could be them or one of the previous owners of their soul. Nothing ever comes of it. So it's all just like, here is a little vignette. You see a pennant waving tall and sluggish in the winds, a rising sun embroidered on the banner. the vanguard of a small troop of paladins. The atmosphere is buoyant if restrained, and their armor has not yet been tarnished by the elements. This expedition is fresh, young, and filled with zest and zeal. At their head stands a commander, awkward in full armor, but determined in step. Despite the excitement of his fellows, he does not smile. There's a twist to his mouth, his countenance grim. He throws up a hand, halting his troop. Silence falls among them, revealing a dark thunder deep and low. He orders them to ready their weapons and spread out. Eyes dart from horizon to horizon, necks twisting to see the source of the sound. In the distance, dust and lightning rise from the ground as Stygian clouds race towards them. Overhead, the soldiers stand, only the staccato movement of their breath betraying their nerves. The commander closes his eyes, calling a blessing down on his troops. Invigorated, invincible, they wait as the enemy draws closer, poised to attack. And so, if we click on him again, same deal. So that guy is just sitting there, he never moves, he never does anything, and he just exists. And, I find that pretty disappointing. Frankly, this is definitely a problem I have with a chunk of the game. They just phoned, in my opinion, they phoned in a lot of these backer contributions. And personally, I'm quite disappointed by how they handled the stuff that was at the tier I backed at. And I'll go into that significantly later on in the Let's Play when we've got a chance to look at that. So, yeah. Let's have a look at the tree, actually. Scattered between the roots and bracelets of twine and bead, wilting flowers and notes, half erased by the rain. So that's that, and we'll grab this while we're at it. Hurry, hurry, hurry. Blood moss. I don't know. I'm not sure how much crafting I'll do. Let's chat with the deer.
Looking for someone in that tree? I could introduce you.
Strange way to talk about your dead. The deer looks up at the tree and breathes out. Half the town's up there now. Seems like no right way to talk. But it seems like no right way to talk about it. Looking for someone who can help me feel better. Adir gives an understanding nod as he takes a long drag from his pipes. My condolences. He exhales and turns away, watching the village around him. Welcome to our lovely village. Okay, so the reason why I keep trying to talk to that guy, despite the fact that there doesn't seem to be a huge amount of point, is I know he is a recruitable NPC. I just don't remember how you recruit him. I think very much we're meant to end up going to the inn. I just want to have a look around, see what I can find before we do that. Let's see how big the map is. Right, yes, because we're in a town, everything starts explored. We'll do stuff with the windmill later. Ingrid's house, the smithy, Aloth, Adir. So you can kind of also tell from that we've got these people. So what I want to do is I'll go here. You know what? Let's not resist the story. We will head to Aloth. We'll talk to Aloth, and then next episode we will move on to the next part of the game. Hey, angry townsfolk. You see 4 people gathered by the door of the inn. Their raised voices and chopping gestures suggest an argument reaching its climax. The first figure raises his hands for calm. His face is partially obscured by a hood, but his height and stature suggest an elf.
I meant no offense. Let's put this matter to rest over a round, shall we? My treat.
Hoping to soothe our pride with a few Adira coppers, eh? We don't need your coin.
Okay, let's go with... What's going on? One of the other men points at the hooded elf. His eyes are red from drink, but his gaze is focused. Mocking us even while he shelters in our village. Just goes to show you what these fancy Adir manners are worth. We don't take kind to that kind of treatment. Not from foreigners, especially not from the Adirans.
Go on. Say it again. I'm itching for an excuse.
The second man thrusts his chin at the elf, and he stinks of Sour
Why,
ale.
you're itching for the kindling touch of your sister, you cocksfeather!
I'll cut that barrel-licking tongue out of your head.
This is a misunderstanding.
Orange
I
Chuck.
didn't say whatever it is you think I said. We've nigh quarrel.
Horror and Chuck paint themselves across the elven man's face in broad, hasty strokes. The problem here is I don't actually know how to handle this setup where the game will just talk and I don't have any opportunity to interject the more descriptive text. I'm not sure what I'll do. But the key part is that something surly and raw flickers through his eyes at the second part. That's where you're wrong. I don't think attacking him is such a good idea. Back down, all of you. This is absurd. Let's go with I don't think attacking him. And why is that? Okay. Let's go with if someone's baiting you as obviously as he is, it's generally wisest to walk away. The townsmen look at each other. One of the men gives the other two a warning shake of his head before turning to you. We're done for now, but this woman better watch the step around here, because we're not going anywhere. With a final scale at the elf, he turns to leave. Let's not kill random villagers, and I don't really have a good non-lethal option. As the three stumble away, the elf turns to you, the tension almost gone from his smooth face.
Not quite how I hoped to get to know the neighbors. Thank you for your timely assistance with that awkward situation. Courtesy is a
I'm
rare
glad I could
pleasure
help.
in these parts. Though your accent suggests that you are no more local than I.
He straightens his hood, and you note the remains of a fraying embroidery on his gloves. His boots are caked with the dirt of many months' travel, but the leatherwork beneath it is sturdy and fine.
I suppose introductions are in order after that little fiasco. Aloth Corvisor, at your service.
How did you manage to get stuck out of here? That is something of a long story.
Well, I'm a wizard by training, and an adventurer by necessity. I was born in the Seathwood, part of the mainland of the Adir Empire, and both of my parents served the nobility, which afforded me an education for which I am grateful. However, there were no open positions in those houses, and so I decided to seek new means in a new land. And how exactly did you come to be here?
I was traveling with a caravan, but we were separated near some
ruins.
ruins.
Well, those can be dangerous places during the best of times, which these are not. And half the locals would arrest you for trespassing, and the rest would kill you outright. I'm curious, what exactly did you find there?
A bivouac.
You survived? I've heard such a thing was impossible. But it seems you either have a knack for timing or the favor of the gods.
Just how did you manage to cross those three drunks?
I'm afraid that was a matter of misunderstandings and mistranslations. It doesn't help that people in these parts remember their war with Adir like it was yesterday.
You did. You did tell that one man to go fuck his sister. Ah, that. He clears his throat and adjusts his sleeves. As I tried to tell them, they misheard me. It happens all too easily after a few pints, and the accent doesn't help. For just a moment, it looks as though he's about to say something else. His expression brightens with mischief, but before he can speak, he forces a tight smile, biting his lip so hard you expect to see blood. Finally, his face relaxes, and he shakes his head. I should speak more clearly next time. My apologies. So, what are you doing in Gilded Vale?
Excellent question. I came looking for fresh air and cheap land. Instead, the magistrate gave me directions to the inn and a story about the local lord's expectant wife. But I take it that's a familiar tale.
I've been experiencing strange things late. I'm looking for an expert on souls.
Indeed. The local lord has searched far and wide for similar specialists.
I've heard a lot about this
He's
Dark
ridden
Souls
some of them
game.
almost as desperately.
Meant to be pretty good. Okay. Yeah. You don't exactly look like a
Begging your
settler.
pardon, but neither do you. Yet, circumstances can find a person in the strangest of places.
I should get going.
How should I, given recent events? It's just as well. I've had enough of the watered wine and lumpy beds at the inn. They say even the owner tired of the place. Just up and left one day. It explains quite a lot about the upkeep. Perhaps I could join you. I could use a change of scenery, and I find it's better to travel in numbers.
So do I. Let's go then.
Excellent. I shall follow you.
Fantastic. So now we got a deer.
Yes.
So a deer here is a wizard. He's a wizard-ary. They haven't gone with the second ed thing of different experience levels for different characters, but I think people in your party always, at least initially, have more experience. And yeah, so you've got all of this stats which is about your party, and then the stats about a person. Yeah, Alice not exactly been in the party too long. He's got this Arcane Assault, which is a per encounter ability. He's got Second Wind, and he has a few first level spells. First level spells are spells for a wizard. Are they per day, or are they per encounter? So you've got 4 spells. I think they're per day. I'm not actually sure. Question mark? This. No, that just opens this. Spell length. Yeah, okay. Learn spell. He already knows it. But, so if we get a spell on a scroll, for example, like this one, which is the Scroll of Tanglefoot, and then we go back to inventory, and do we go to edit grimoire? No, that's right, because what you can have is you can find other people's spell books. I think there is a way of learning spells from spell, but I'm not actually sure. Anyway, he's got that now.
I shall.
So
Yeah.
what we'll do is we will go in to the inn. Wait, no. What we will do is we will finish the episode, and next time we'll go into the inn and we'll have a bit of a nap, continue things a bit. Until then, have a great day. Bye.